God is spirit, and those who worship him must worship him in spirit and truth. Wow, that is wonderful scripture. For me, so I believe that when God says in Genesis, or when Genesis says, and God breathed his breath into Abraham, it was more than his breath, it was his life, it was his spirit. It's not just oxygen. And I've said that to you before. Oxygen is about science. Science is one of the tools God used to create this beautiful earth we live on. But God breathed his spirit. And I think there's just this little piece of God inside of all of us, and that makes sense to me. And so when you speak to God, you speak to him with your words and your lips and your this and your vision. You speak to him with your thoughts. Oh, Lord, when you're in a quiet space, you speak to him with your thoughts. You speak to him with your hands because you do good for others. You speak to him with the things that you do in the world, sort of like the things of desires. I desire good things for people. I'm, not lustful for somebody else's husband, or things like that. So we can worship him in so many ways, and so too we should worship him in spirit. And that has been a bit of a bone of contention between the different churches all over the world, because you've got your more charismatic churches which are quite open about being spiritual, and to some of the older churches it might look like you are being proud and out there. You have no shame, people. And so it is, I think, and anybody, I'm willing to have a conversation with anybody, but for me it's an incredibly personal thing to worship God in spirit. And sometimes I do pray in a way that others would say is praying in tongues, but I do it quietly to myself, or I pray within a safe area. I'm also very mindful of not making other people feel uncomfortable within the space of depth of spiritual. I'm also very clear that I'm very comfortable in my spiritual, the way I do it. So if I want to raise my hands while I'm singing, I do it. Things like that, if that makes you feel uncomfortable. I'm also very respectful of your space. So I will move away from you. If it's bugging you, I will move away from you, and I will praise in spirit in that way. I also I kind of try and ask for permission. Can I pray for you in this way? Can I lay hands on you? Can I do this? Can I do that? Because that's what Jesus is. He's very respectful of people's space. He only moves into it when he's invited into that space. So while I'm being respectful of your space, you have to be respectful of mine too. If you don't like what I'm doing, you need to move away also. And so I don't think that having an argument about something like that is worthwhile. Because if I come from a place where I've never done that in my life, God understands that it makes me feel uncomfortable. And so God will work in my heart. If it's something he wants me to do, God will work in my heart. He will bring people across my path the way in which I need it. So I was baptized as a baby, and then I was baptized as an adult. This was my choice. The lady who baptized me is one of my very good friends now. And she heard from God that I don't speak in tongues. And we prayed about that. It was just such an awesome place and an awesome way. And I have that now. And I felt God in such a way that I cannot explain it to somebody who cannot understand. And not because they're stupid, not because they are stubborn, not because they just haven't got there yet. Before that happened to me, I hadn't got there yet. And other things have happened to you, but that hasn't happened yet. But as long as you keep your foot on the path, you keep yourself connected to God, you get there when God brings you there. I want to encourage each and every one of you. your relationship is beautiful and tangible and awesome with God. Do not let anybody else dictate it for you, because it's not what needs. If you ask for guidance, accept the guidance that is given. If you ask for knowledge, because people are more knowledgeable, then accept that knowledge. But be open to doing the same for others. I pray for you that you feel the presence of God all the days of your life, and that your relationship with Him grows, that your spirit is more of you than what your physical is. That's God's prayer for you. Have a wonderful day, and we'll speak again tomorrow.